good morning. Just want to see, are we good? Yeah, I think we're good. So as always, I'm hoping you can see and hear. So welcome and good morning. This practice is going to focus on strength for backbends. Just to give a very short little breakdown. You know, if you think of the body when we are backbending, the pattern or the shape it's creating, the front body, I'll go to the side here and just kind of exaggerate things a little bit. So depending on, or in fact, it doesn't depend on what backbend you're doing, all of them, whether you're lying on your belly, you're coming into something like camel, or you're lifting into wheel or bridge pose. We're looking to open the front body. Okay, so it's quite expansive and opening for the whole front body. And then we're looking to engage or contract the back body. Okay, so that's kind of your basic shape. The tendency is for a lot of people that when we backbend, a lot of the what we call the load or the weight tends to move into one part of the spine, and that can be the lower back for many. So what we're going to focus on in this practice is trying to bring more support so that the weight is more evenly distributed through the whole back body. So that's including your glutes and your hamstrings, because part of their role is to extend your hips. And when we backbend, we're looking for hip extension. So we want to be able to make sure that we can recruit the glutes and we can recruit the hamstrings, and also the upper back, the thoracic spine. If we can bring more engagement into some of the muscles between the shoulder blades and some of the deeper, bigger muscles, again, that's just going to create more of that distribution of load that we're looking for. But as important as it is that we have strength from the back body to create the support necessary for a safer backbend, we equally want to be able to have these parts of the body moving independently of each other. And if you think, for many of us now, again a generalization, where we're constantly sitting and where shoulders are more forward, we're kind of rounded a little bit more, hunched into the upper back, pelvis can be kind of tucked under, lower back a little bit rounded. And if this is the pattern we're doing more often, the body tends to remember that because it's easy to remember it. So when we come into backbending then, or it doesn't even have to necessarily be backbending, these parts of the body can often be locked in place and very challenging to get them to move. And if they're not going to move when we're requiring, you know, these big, some of these backbends are big poses, again, where is all that movement going to go into the part of the body that is got a little bit more freedom? And again, for many it tends to be the lower back. All right, so that's just a very brief synopsis of kind of the intention behind what we're doing. And just one last thing, you know, that's the physical practice of a backbend. We also need to consider the energetics too, because that's a big part of yoga. And you often hear backbending referred to as heart opening. And if you think, you know, if we spend so much time in this position and the chest is kind of sinking down and the heart is sinking down, it can be kind of closed in on. And then requesting this huge opening right across that heart can often bring up some emotions. Because if you think of the heart, it's often referred to as the seat of compassion. It's the space of, or the container for kindness and insight. But also there's a vulnerability about the heart. And this just goes from my own experience. I find some of those bigger backbends, when they require a lot from here, can bring about an emotional shift. So just be aware of just the reactions of your body as you move, not only the physical body, but also that kind of emotional, energetic layer too. Okay, because that's equally as important in the practice of yoga, looking and considering all the bodies. All right, so we're going to get moving, and we're going to start just standing to begin with. Now, you're welcome to sit for a few minutes if you feel more comfortable, or just bring your feet about hip width distance apart. And we'll collectively just connect here through the breath for a couple of moments, just to arrive into our bodies and to ground a little bit this morning before we begin moving. You can have your palms open to face me here. I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable, or just a nice soft gaze will work too. And begin to very softly deepen the inhalation, just very softly. And consciously letting go of the exhalation, letting go of that out breath. A gentle deepening of the inhalation and a conscious letting go through the exhalation. And you may wish to bring a little soft sound into that out breath as it releases from the body, whether it's a gentle sigh, maybe it's through the mouth, through the lips. So just letting whatever needs to be released, let it go through the breath here this morning. And filling the lungs as you breathe in, bottom to top. Feeling the chest expanding, the heart opening ever so slightly. And continue with that just conscious releasing of the out breath. Bring your chin to your chest. And slowly start to draw the arc of your right collarbone. Tilt your right ear towards your right shoulder. And slowly opening the throat as you tilt the head back, left ear towards left shoulder, chin to left shoulder, and chin down towards your chest. One more in this direction. And we'll reverse as we inhale, chin to left shoulder, ear to shoulder. Throat opening as the head tilts, coming all the way right ear, right shoulder, chin to chest. Tilt your head back into a neutral position. We'll take right ear over to right shoulder. Stretch the left arm out a little bit away from the hip, and if your palm is facing me, spin your palm to face behind you. Take a bend into the elbow and just let your hand come to rest towards the right side of the lower back. Palm should be facing away. Relax the shoulder down and let your chin just come down towards the collarbone a little bit here. And you might notice the change in sensation here in the upper neck, wherever you're feeling the stretch, the release. And the shoulders is a place where we tend to hold a lot of stress. So just notice what you notice here, and again just allow for that conscious release through the exhalation if that's what you need. Seeing if the breath can just help to carry out some of that tension. Let your head tilt back to center. Release the left arm, and we'll take left ear to left shoulder. Spin the palm away, right palm away, and then we'll bend the elbow and bring your hand again towards the small of the lower back. And just very gently start to bring the chin down, and just again explore. You can do little micro movements and then stop for a moment wherever you just feel a little sticky place. And then nice and slowly from here, release your hand, spin it forward and tilt your head back to center. I'm going to ditch the card again because it's incredibly annoying. Okay. Bring the arms straight back behind you here for a moment. So we'll go straight back into what we call extension. You're going to spin your palms forward and then spin the palms away and let that movement spiral up into the shoulders. So we're going for internal and external rotation as we hold the arms back behind us in this extended position. And you might slowly start to feel the tricep, the back of the upper arm beginning to engage here, and even that space between the shoulder blades. Now keep your palms spinning away from you. You're going to take a bend at the elbows, and without touching the lower back or without touching the palms, just let them come in towards the lumbar spine here, very, very slightly away from the spine. And then stretch the arms back on the diagonal, and we're going to spin, moving through rotation, and bring the arms to align with the shoulders. So spinning the whole way up. Turn your palm away, bend back into the elbow here, and we'll do the same thing. So again, without touching the lower back, without touching your hands, see if you can aim now for the opposite elbow. Stretch the arms back out on the diagonal and we'll spin all the way up now. Bring the arms into the shape of a Y. Palms are going to spin away, head of the shoulders rolling forward. Bending at the elbows, bring your hands all the way behind you. This time take the opposite palm forward, opposite arm forward, aim for the elbow. Stretch the arms back out, feeling the heat. Spin now all the way up. Find your Y, and then take the arms to frame the ears. Spin the palms away, swim the arms all the way back behind you, bend at the elbow, aim for that opposite elbow. Stretch the arms back on the diagonal, spin all the way back up so the arms frame the ears. I'm really feeling the heat already. Once we frame the ears with those upper arm bones, with the bicep, turn your palms to face one another and really ground down into the tripod of your foot. Find length through the sides of your waist. Exhale, we're going to just take a gentle side bend over towards the right. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, gentle side bend. And one more time, we'll inhale, come to center. Now think of lifting up as high as you can. Let the shoulders elevate towards the ears. Feel even more length through the side body. And exhale, keep that lift up and moving over into that side bend. Grounding the feet, come to center. Lift up, stretch up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, come to center. And exhale, slowly bring the arms all the way down. Turn your palms to face one another behind the back. We're going to interlace the fingers here. Keep a little softness in your knees. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another here. And then just see if you can lift your chest and look towards the ceiling. Notice how this feels in the lower back. I'm not telling you to do anything yet with your pelvis, just notice how this feels for you. Keep the chest lifting, looking up towards the ceiling. And we'll exhale, gaze forward and just release the arms. Place your hands onto your hips. Working with moving that pelvis. So on the inhalation, I want you to exaggerate what we call an anterior tilt, and I'm in one now. So the front of my hip points are going to be facing down towards the floor. We're quite arched in the lower back. You might even notice the ribs opening here. And now as you exhale, you're going to tuck your pelvis under into a posterior tilt. And this is something we want to remember for this practice. So you're going to inhale, find the anterior, and exhaling as we find that tuck, posterior tilt. Notice what happens in your glutes, the muscles of your buttocks, as you move between the two. You might even want to put your hands on your bum just to get a sense. And if find it really challenging to isolate the movement of the lower back, or of the pelvis, sorry, it will come with time. Just be patient with it. Alright, so we want to have the pelvis now tucking under. Find that posterior tilt. Your hips, press them just a little bit more forward, but without changing the weight distribution in your feet. So we don't want to be moving into the toes. We still want to grounding into the tripod. Really emphasize now that tail lengthening down, hips pressing very slightly forward. You'll notice the glutes. Bring the hands behind you, interlace your fingers. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another. Lift your chest up towards the ceiling. Look up and notice now, how does this variation feel in your body this morning? You may feel less action in the lower back. Maybe a little bit more support. Exhale as we release. Maintaining what's happening in the pelvis, the gentle pressing forward of the hips. Interlace your fingers now and place your hands behind the back of your head. We're going to narrow in with the elbows, working now into the thoracic spine, the T-spine. Draw your chin down towards your chest and find a little bit of a rounding here in the upper back. Keep those hips slightly pressing forward. Glutes are going to stay on for support. Feet are grounding down. And just like we move the neck, we'll do a very similar pattern here for the T-spine. Slowly starting to just rotate over towards the right side. Draw your left elbow up towards the ceiling as we bring this into a side bend. Slowly now lifting the breastbone up towards the ceiling. Coming all the way over towards the left. Narrow the elbows in towards the ear. And then sink your chin down towards your chest as you come back into the start position. We'll now go in the opposite direction. So rotate over towards the left. Pause for a moment. Reach the right elbow up towards the ceiling. Slowly press your head back into your hands as you lift the breastbone. Strong glutes here. Coming all the way over towards the right. Let the elbows narrow in. And chin is going to come back towards the chest as we come back into that flex rounded position. Inhale now, nice and slowly, you're going to restack the spine. Pull your elbows back, shoulder blades are going to draw towards one another on the upper back. And think of breastbone lifting, hips pressing more forward, looking towards the ceiling. Exhaling as we restack. Release your hands from behind your head and let them just come to relax down by the outer hips. We're going to shift the weight now into the left leg. Step your right foot forward. Put a little soft bend into your right knee and we'll just start to work a little bit into that ankle joint. Try and move into all the parts of that foot. So we want to drop into the inner arch, come up into the ball of the foot, move into the pinky toe side of the foot and into the heel. Do that one more time. And then let the foot stay grounded, but let the knee start to roll around the ankle. You're going to pause, go back the opposite way. Transfer the weight back into your left leg. Slide the right leg in a little bit more. Hands are going to come onto your hips. Inhale here. Now, if the balance feels a little bit off, maybe you bring your hand to be supported by a wall. My words are just not working this morning. I'm sorry. Okay, we're going to inhale. Take the right leg up. Bend into the right knee. And I want you to pull your right heel in towards your bum. Draw your knee a little bit more forward. And see if you can bring it as high as it can go this morning. Holding here and just feeling what's going on through the front of that right hip. Heel's going to stay pulling in. Now you're going to nice and slowly start to bring the leg back behind you and notice when you feel your hamstring and your glute beginning to work. So we're bringing that leg back into extension, the hip into extension here. And it's not going to be a huge movement, but you'll really start to feel now hamstring and glute lighting up. We're going to come forward as we inhale. And exhaling as we start to kick the leg back. Keep pulling your heel in towards your bum. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, knee's going to come forward. And exhaling as we start to kick back. Whew. Inhale, bring the knee forward. Exhale, lower the foot down, transfer the weight into the right side. Left foot steps out. Again, just start to explore the foot, moving between the heel, pinky toe side, ball of the foot, inner arch. Foot grounds, knee starts to roll around the ankle joint. Weight's going to shift back into that right leg. Left leg becomes light. We lift it up away from the mat. Bending at the knee, bringing that knee right up into flexion. Holding it here. Keep your heel pulling into your sit bone, hands onto the hips. Again, maybe we take a wall. We're not so focused on the balance here. More about the recruitment and the feeling in the hip. Slowly start to kick the leg back behind you. Notice the feels. Hamstring, glute. You'll feel the hamstring probably aliven up the quickest. And now again, we'll bring the knee forward. And we'll kick the leg back. Try and not let the chest come forward or the spine to move. Keep everything nice and stacked. One more time. Bring that knee forward. And then slowly kick that leg back. Knee's going to come forward. Lower the foot to the floor. If you're at the top of the mat, bring yourself towards the back. Soften it into your knees just a little bit. And then try and have those hips moving a little bit more forward. We're going to keep that posterior tilt to the pelvis. So that's the tail tucking down. Bring your chin towards your chest. Rolling down. Feel the shoulders roll forward. Chest is going to sink back. Very familiar position to most of us. And now go a little bit more. Let the hips travel slightly back. It's going to give you more space now so we can roll all the way down, bringing your hands onto the mat. Walk your hands forward, come into a tabletop position for me. Untuck the toes, press down through the tops of the feet. Feel that engagement through the inner thighs, the more we firm into the shin bones. Spreading the fingers, you're going to wrap the eye of your elbow more forward. Grip the fingertips, and we'll move through a couple of cat-cows. Inhale, lift the tail, let the belly start to sink down. Pull your breastbone through the arm bones, and the head is the last thing to look up. Exhale, start to tuck under from your tail, rounding through the spine, chin to chest. So think here that we're contracting the front body, and we're stretching open the back body. And once we transition here, as you inhale, lift the tail, drop the belly, pulling the chest through the arm bones, you're going to feel how the back body is engaging and the front body is releasing, opening a little bit more. Okay, come back into a neutral spine, and we'll bring some awareness into the scapula, your shoulder blades. Keep the chest lifting up away from the mat. And then nice and slowly, let the chest start to sink down without bending your elbows, and think of gliding your shoulder blades together on the upper back. Now lift the chest up and away from the mat. Feel the shoulder blades glide forward. Sink your chest down, draw your shoulder blades together. 2 more times. Inhale as we lift the back of the heart up towards the ceiling. Exhale as we melt the chest back down. Inhaling as we lift. Exhaling as we sink. Inhale, come back to neutral. Now bring your bum all the way back in towards your heels and bring the hands closer towards your knees. We're going to keep the lower back a little bit locked out. So I want you to find that tucking of your pelvis here, a little bit of a rounding for the lower back as we try and bring some isolated movement into the T-spine. This can be quite challenging, especially if we are a little bit more locked in the upper back, but just like the pelvis, a little bit of time and patience and things will start to respond for you. So think of your breastbone, that's the center of your chest, and this is what we want to move. So I'm going to really grip down into my hands. Inhaling, think of pulling the center of your chest forward through the arm bones. Exhaling, sinking the center of your chest back in between your shoulder blades. We'll do this 2 more times. Pull the heart forward and then sink the heart back. Last one. Pull the heart forward, sink the heart back. Press down into your shin bones and come into a tall kneeling position. Place your hands on your hip creases, on your hip flexors. And I want you to think of just hinging from the hips and keeping your spine in a neutral position. It's going to look something like this. So if you want to look at me here first, and then we'll do it together. So my shin bones are pressing down. I'm not sending my bum all the way towards my heels, but I'm hinging from those hip creases and bringing my chest to face towards the floor. To come back up, I'm going to press down into my shin bones and think of pressing my hips more forward, finding a little bit of that hip extension. Glutes, hamstrings are going to activate a little here. So I'm going to sit the bum back, folding from the hip creases, and then push the hips forward as I press down into the shin bones. Do it 1 or 2 times yourself, just get a feel for the movement. And then we will introduce the arms. So the next time you sit your bum back, reach your hands a little bit more forward. This is going to challenge the pose. Arm bones are going to frame the ears. Now as we exhale, press your hips forward, pull the arms back into that extended position. Feel the life in between the shoulder blades. So you're going to sit the bum back, reach the hands forward. Pull the arms back, press the hips. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach the hands forward. Fingers are going to be in the same line as the shoulders. This time the movement's going to come from hinging at the knees. I want you to really emphasize that posterior tilt of the pelvis. So we want to be shoulders, hips and knees almost in one straight line. Hands forward, inhale here. Shin bones press down, exhale. Lean it back 2 or 3 inches. And then inhale, come forward. Exhale, lean it back 2 or 3 inches. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, lean it back 2 or 3 inches, maybe even 4. And we're going to pause. If you start to shake, that's okay. You're going to breathe. Breathe. Inhale, press yourself forward. Take the arms up to frame your ears, and then just make a very gentle fist. Maintain this line, so that tail tucking under, posterior tilt. And nice and slowly, you're going to start to pull the arms down. And as you pull the arms down, think of the armpit doing some of that pulling action. Elbows are going to move back by the rib cage. Arms are going to straighten, extend the elbow. Release your fingers, spin the palms out away from you. Sweep your arms all the way back up by the ears. Make a fist, 2 more. Pull the arms down. Keep the pull, keep the pull, keep the pull. Elbows are going to come back. Feel the shoulder blades gliding towards one another. Extend the elbow. Spin, release the fingers as the hands spin out. Arms are going to come all the way up by the ears. Option now to add in a little hinge from the knee. Lean back. So make the gentle fist, start to pull. Keep the pull, keep the pull. Keep that tuck of the tailbone. Hips are forward, feel the glutes. Now feel the back line of your body here. Feel the life. Now stretch back into the elbow. Spread the fingers. And now maybe you see what it'd be like if you lean back. Whoo, I've got a lot of shaking going on. Spin the hands, press the hips forward, reach the arms all the way up. And exhaling from here, we'll lower the arms down. Stretch the hands forward. Keep your hips over your knees. And we'll come into a melting dog, puppy dog pose. So start to just sink your heart, your chest towards the mat. Forehead can come down. Outer armpit wrapping down, and just take a breath or 2 here. Softening wherever you feel you may need to soften. Slide your bum all the way back into your heels. And take your belly up out of your thighs. We're going to sit into the heels if it's comfortable, just for a few moments. You may even wish to just stretch the legs out. I'm going to work with a little bit of breath. Place the hands onto the sides of the ribs. So fingers forward and your thumbs back. Very gentle, little bit of pressure just to give us the feedback. You can close your eyes and begin to draw the breath outward into your resting hands, almost laterally across the side ribs. And just take a few rounds here. A diaphragmatic breath, 3-dimensional. Take one more here. Then slowly release. Come on to your hands and your knees for tabletop position. Curl your toes under. Grip the fingertips. And I want you to really emphasize the natural curvature of your spine here. So we're not going to go into an overarch, we're not going into an over tuck. That would be the tendency. Think of the tail lengthening back and the crown of your head reaching forward. Your front hip points, think of drawing them in the direction of one another, and you might start to feel just a gentle engagement happening in the lower belly, deep in the lower belly. Think of your hands resting back on the sides of your ribs, and just explore the breath here in this tabletop position. So the breath expanding in all directions. Continue, or if you wish, take your knees into a hovering quadruped. And we'll hold this for 5 to 7 breaths. And I want you to just emphasize the breath more than anything else here in this pose. Breathing out into the side ribs, into the back ribs, into the front ribs. Keep those fingers gripping. Index knuckle taking some of the weight so the wrists are a little happier. Are we on breath 5? Alright, keep your knees hovering, but bring your sit bones back into your heels. Inhale from here, press down into your toes, get your hips to lift. Start to pedal your heels down, straightening the knees, just any amount. Inhale, shift your weight forward, we'll come into a plank in fact. So walk your hands a little bit more forward, shoulders are over the wrists. I want you to find that tuck here of your pelvis again, of your tail. And then see what it would be like if you untucked it. And then tuck again. Give it a little squeeze. Drop your knees down, bend at the elbow creases, and lower all the way onto your belly. Stack your forearms on top of one another. Let the head come down to rest. Pressing down into the tops of the feet. So we're going to translate some of that standing work into this position now when we're lying on the belly, where things get just a bit more challenging as we're trying to work against gravity at the same time. The important thing here is that we try and again bring a little bit more from glutes and hamstrings, okay? And we give the lower back less work to need to do, and that's where the posterior tilt of the pelvis is going to come in. We press the hips forward when we were standing, and you may have felt a little bit of that recruitment. What I want you to think of here is your pubic bone. Press down with your pubic bone And then draw your lower belly up and away from the mat. And then just let it relax again for a moment. And then press down with your pubic bone and lift your lower belly up and away from the floor. And just notice the difference of feeling in your body as you do this. So let everything relax. And then think of the pubic bone pressing down and the lower belly lifting up away from the floor. Press down into all 10 toenails so the legs are nice and strong. Now keep a little bit of space underneath your belly button. Maybe enough for a grape, okay? And we don't want to squish our grapes. As you inhale, you're going to lift the right leg up an inch, maybe 2, and then exhale, lower it down. So do not squish whatever's underneath your belly, and this is a lot of work, even to just get that leg to lift an inch or 2 up, and then exhale as you lower. Inhale to lift, exhale, lower. Left leg, inhale, exhale, lower. Right leg's going to lift, inhale. Now keep your grape, but bend into your right knee, and then pull the right heel into your bum. Exhale, extend, point back into the right toes, lower the foot down. Left leg, inhale, let it come into a little hover. Bend at the knee, pull the heel in towards your bum. Remember your grape. Stretch back out into your left toes, and exhale, lower the foot down. Let everything relax here for a moment, and just give your hips a little wiggle side to side. Press back down with the tops of the feet, pubic bone heavy, find your grape. This time we'll move it up into the upper back, into the shoulders. Take your arms into a cactus shape, so the elbows are in the same line as the shoulders. We'll spread the fingers, and we'll try and keep the head low and the chest low. Inhaling, we're going to lift the arms up at the same time and see if we can draw the shoulder blades in towards one another, and then exhale to lower. Inhale as you lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale as you lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale, now lift the arms and think of sliding your shoulder blades down towards your back pocket. See how that feels for you. It may have given you a bit more space around the neck. Keep the cherry or the grape pressing down with your pubic bone, and we're going to very gently just lift the heart, lift the head. Now maybe you float the feet up. Keep that activation of the lower belly and notice all that work. But how does this feel for you? And then exhale, just release, let everything go, and give your pelvis a little wiggle side to side. Bring your fingers in underneath the shoulder heads. In fact, you know what? Make a fist. Okay, so wrist is going to come in underneath your elbow. And think of drawing the head of your shoulder up and away from the mat. Shoulder blades down towards the back pockets. Okay, so they're pulling down the back, they're depressed. Again, we want to try and keep lower belly drawing up. Pubic bone heavy, tops of feet heavy, legs active and engaged. There's some support. You're going to inhale, lift the elbow up, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the fist, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the fist, try and keep your head down, keep it low, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, now keep the hover and stretch back into the knuckles. Elbows extending. Lift the heart, lift the head. Spread the fingers. And instead of having your palms facing the outer hips, can you spin the palms away? Feel a little bit more opening across the front of the chest, the collarbones. Now pull the arms back, but see if you can pull the upper arms in towards one another. Making sure the lower belly is staying, lifting up away from the mat. Take one more breath. And whoo, exhale. Lower all the way down. Well done. Give the hips a little wiggle. Or we'll take the fingers, in underneath the shoulders. Press up onto your knees. Come back into a wide knees child's pose. So knees together, big toe mounds connecting, bum into your heels. Put a soft bend into the elbow. Just let the head hang nice and free. And just come back to the experience of the breath here again. And can we breathe out into the side ribs, back ribs and front ribs? 3-dimensional breath. I often work with a visualization here of this breath, that if you think right in the center of your core is a ball of energy. And as you inhale, that energy expands out from the core towards the periphery in all directions. And as you exhale, that energy begins to draw back into center, creating that softening in of all sides of the waist again. So we're inhaling as the breath expands out from center, from the core to the periphery, and exhaling as it goes all the way back into our center. Press down into your palms. You're going to inhale as you lift your hips up out of your toes. Walk the palms a little bit more forward. Keep a tuck of your tail. Shoulders are going to come over the wrists. You're going to lift your toes, bend at your elbows, and lower all the way down onto your belly. Okay, keeping your knees bent and the toes connected. Pubic bone heavy, lower belly lifting up away from the mat. As you inhale, you're going to lift your thighs up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now notice as you lift, you really again feel those glutes. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale as you lower. Now you can stretch the legs straight back out for a moment. Take a little rest. Take a wiggle of the pelvis side to side. Or just keep the knees bent here for a moment. So just remembering to be really mindful if you have any lower back sensitivity. And if you start to feel into the lower back and things are maybe a little tender for you, what is it like if you can try and create more of that posterior tilt? If you can bring your lower belly up a little bit more away from the earth, and we create some engagement here deep within the core to give us a little bit of stability for the lower back. Okay, if you've moved the hands, bend back into the elbows, fingers are going to face forward, toes are pointing up. You're going to inhale now, lift the hands, lift the legs, exhale lower. Inhale, lift, and really squeeze the shoulder blades in towards one another, exhale lower. Inhale, lift, exhale lower. Inhale, lift, exhale lower. One more time, inhale to lift, exhale lower. Place the palms down, place your knees down, use the strength of the arms, straighten the elbows, and come all the way back into your wide knees child's pose. Stretch the spine out. Ground the palms, lift your bum up out of your heels. Curl the toes under and bring your legs, feet a little wider. Walk your hands towards your knees. We're going to come into yogi squat, coming into malasana. It's okay if the heels don't come down. Take the feet slightly wider if you need to, and just turn the toes out at a slight angle so that the knee is centered between the second and third toe. Left arm, cross it over the inside of your left leg. Take the right arm to the back of the neck, and we'll work a little bit of thoracic rotation here. Right elbow, you're going to just close it down, but make sure that it's not just the arm that moves, that it's the spine that's rotating or the rib cage that's rotating. So on the exhalation, feel the rib cage rotating as that right elbow draws towards your left. Inhaling as we rotate open, and we can look towards the ceiling. Exhaling. Inhale, rotate open. Exhale. Inhale as you rotate open. Exhale. Inhale, rotate open. Exhale, release the hand from the back of your head. Place the right arm and cross the front of your right shin bone. Left hand to the back of the neck. Exhale, rotate, close your twist. Making sure again that it's not just the arm doing the movement. Inhale as we twist open. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale as we twist open. Release the hand, stretch it up, lower it down. Walk your hands forward, come into a downward facing dog. Take a few moments, just give yourself a little pedal from one knee to the other. You can sway your hips side to side. Give yourself a wiggle and wriggle about. And then slowly drop your knees back down. Spread the fingers, grip your fingertips. Think of lengthening the spine from your tail to your crown without changing the natural curvature of the spine. Feel the breath occupying all sides of the waist, diaphragmatic breath here again. Let your knees come into a lift, hovering quadruped. If it's too much for you, keep your knees down. We're going to transfer the weight into the left foot. Let the right toes lift. See how that feels for you. Lower right foot down, lift left foot into a hover. Don't hold the breath, keep it fluid. Left foot down, right leg's going to lift. Now, you might even want to look at me for a moment. I'm going to drop my left heel towards the right side of the mat. I'm taking my left hand away and I'm kicking my right leg through. I'm going to place my left hand down, pivot on the ball of my left foot, keep my left knee low, and then step back with my right leg. I'll show you there on the open side. So I'm going to drop my right heel in towards the center of the mat or towards the left side. My right arm's going to lift and my left leg is going to kick through. Hand comes down, we pivot on the right foot, left foot comes down. Drop the knees. Okay, we'll do that one more time either side. So grip the fingers, knees are going to lift. Lift the right leg into a hover. Drop left heel into the midline. Take the left hand away, kick the right leg through. Left hand back, pivot on the ball of the left foot, right foot steps back. Right heel in, left foot lifts, left leg kicks through. We take the right hand away, right hand down, pivot on the ball of right foot, left foot down. Lift the right leg. Now keep your left knee in a hover, right knee into your chest, and then step the right foot in between your hands. Keep low with that left knee. Slowly reach the arms up. So we're in a very low lunge. Squeeze the left buttock a little bit here. Keep nice and low. Keep nice and low. One more breath. And exhale, lower the left knee down. Again, keep the squeeze of the buttock. Left hand forward, right arm back. Inhale, both arms up. Left forward, right back. Or sorry, left back, right forward. Inhale, both arms up. Left forward, right back. Now you're going to pause here for a moment. Option as is to stay, or I start to bring the left arm up. Think of lifting now the space between the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling, and I lean maybe back to grab hold of my ankle, or just touch the calf. Keep the breastbone lifting, and inhale, come back. Left forward, right back. Both arms frame the ears, center your chest. Inhale here. Exhaling, ground your palms, Lift your left knee. Step back, find plank. Pause, inhale. And exhale as you lower down. Choose your variation of lowering down. And you're going to take your blanket. So I hope you all have one. Or just something a little bit slippy and slidey. You may just grab your mat and flip it back a little bit to give you some space. Arms are straight on the blanket. Drop the head down. Now press down through the tops of the feet. Pubic bone heavy, lower belly drawing up. Find your grape or your cherry, whatever your options are. And we're going to work a little bit of pull action here. So as you press down into your palms, you're going to inhale, pull the arms in towards you as you bend into your elbows. Exhale, push your hands down and away. Push and then pull. Sorry, you're going to push your hands down and then pull all the way back in. Push away. 2 more. Press down, pull it in. Chest is lifting, pushing down, pressing away. Pushing your hands down, pulling all the way in. Slowly pushing down, pressing away. Last one, push down as we pull in. Chest is lifting. Now think here of pulling your breastbone through the arm bones. Lower belly lifting up away from the mat. Pubic bone nice and heavy. Feet strong and active. And exhaling as we release as we lower. Blanket can slide off for a moment. Stretch out with your mat. Bring your fingers in underneath your shoulders. Push to your knees, curl the toes, down dog. Hovering quadruped on the in-breath. Grip the fingertips again. You don't need to keep the knees lifted if it's too challenging for you this morning. Keep them down. Hover. Find the diaphragmatic breath. Think of that core, the center of your belly, and the energy radiating out into all sides as you breathe in. Exhaling. Coming through those little kick throughs again. So we're going to drop the left heel into the midline. Right leg kicks through. Left hand lifts away. Left hand down. Right foot down. Drop right heel in. Left leg kicks out. Hand down. Foot down. Right. Step it back. Left. Step it back. Right. Step it back. Left. Step it back. Keep hovering. Left foot's going to lift. Slowly bring the left knee in towards you and then step your left foot forward in between your hands. Right knee stays low to the floor. We're going to come up into a hovering lunge. Squeeze, engage the right buttock. Hold it here. Drop the front ribs down. One more breath. Slowly lower. Left hand backward, arm forward. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, left hand forward, right arm back. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, left back, right forward. Inhale, both arms up. Left forward, right back. Inhale, both arms frame the ears. Exhale, left back, right forward. Now nice and slowly, we're going to take the right arm up, lift the breastbone, and lean back. Maybe we take the ankle or the calf. Maybe we just stay as we are. Keep lifting, keep reaching. And we'll take one more breath here. And slowly, both arms up, framing the ears. Inhale. Grounding both hands down. Step back, find your plank. Inhale here. Exhaling nice and slowly, lowering down. Maybe we modify with the knees, bend at the elbows, come all the way onto your belly. Press down into the tops of the feet and bend. In fact, yes, press down into the tops of the feet. I say, will I do something else here? Maybe not. Okay, tops of the feet, pubic bone heavy, lower belly drawing up and away from the mat. let your hands come into a hover. And we're going to take this into a variation of bow pose. Some of you may have done it with me before if you know me in person. Now, you can take the ankles if you wish, but today is not about doing things very traditional. So just feel it out for you. It's really about finding and harnessing the strength and the support, okay? So lower belly's going to draw up, find your grape. You're going to lift the hands. Once the legs feel active, bend at the knees, pull the heels in towards your bum. Now you're going to slowly stretch your arms back for your ankles. Lift the feet slightly higher up. Lift the chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another. Feel the ankles. Don't touch the ankles. Feel for them. Spreading across the chest. Take one more breath. And then exhale, stretch the legs out. Lower the arms, lower the legs. Turn the head to one side. Just take a moment, give your pelvis a little bit of a rock. Come back to the breath. Take your fingers, place them in underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up to the knees and walk the hands back towards your knees. Come into tall kneeling. We're going to come to Ustrasana, Camel pose. I'll offer two variations. And if you, again, I'm not going to go into a very traditional camel. Again, just to feel things out a little different and how they are in your body. But if you have another variation, please feel free to do it. And if you're not feeling it right now, because camel for me is one of those vulnerability poses. It really just brings me into another place, okay? And it often can be almost overwhelming. I always find that if I need to have a good cry, a couple of camels are just prime me for it. So just see how things go, okay? So I'm going to start with my shin bones pressing down. And again, we want to find a little bit of that hip extension. So as I tuck down with the tail, so if that posterior tilt to the pelvis, and we know that kind of helps us to get a little bit more from the glutes. And if we press the hips a little bit more forward, you're going to feel hamstrings and glutes. So there's a bit of support already. For a lot of people with Ustrasana, the back bend tends to go straight into the lumbar, okay? So we'll work into recruiting now some of the upper back, using some of that pull action, okay? Because the pull helps to just recruit some of those deeper, more stabilizing muscles, okay? So the arms are going to stretch up. You're going to make a little fist. Remember, hips are forward, tail is lengthening down. We've already done this. And you're going to start to bend at the elbows. And think of like a chin up or a pull up. That's the action you want to create as the arms come down. Now pull the elbows back. Feel the shoulder blades go in towards one another. Pressing into those shin bones, hips are forward. And then think of lifting the breastbone up. We'll pause here for a moment. Stretch back with the elbow. With the knuckles, sorry. Again, language is all over the place this morning. Apologies. All the shakes, all the shakes. And then maybe you hinge from the knees a little bit. Just lean it back. Feel all the feels. Take a breath. And then slowly restack. And exhale. Sit your bum into your heels. Palms are open to the ceiling. Close your eyes for a moment. And just notice what you notice. Feeling in around the heart. Any tingling in the fingers. We're going to press back down into shin bones, coming back up into tall kneeling. So for some, stay in that variation. For others, you may want to curl the toes under, or like you said, if you want to go into more traditional, have the feet flat on the floor. We're going to enter in the same way, but we're going to try and take the hands towards the heels. And again, if it's not available for you this morning, just come into this bent elbow variation. So arms are going to reach up, make your fist, and again, just remember hips forward. You want a little bit of glutes happening here. Tail is lengthening down, and I'm going to pull. Pulling, 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 pulling. Feel the armpits drawing down, and you might notice that muscular effort here as you do so. More recruitment. Once the elbows come back by the ribs, stretch back, spread your fingers now, and you're going to hinge from the knees. Lean it back, and keep leaning back until you find your heels. Once you find your heels, press your hips as far forward as you can, and lift your breastbone up towards the ceiling as you look up. Think of that tail still lengthening down, even like it's kind of trying to move into the space between the knees. Take one more big breath into the heart here. And exhaling, hand to the small of the lower back. Restack yourself here, untuck your toes, sit your bum into your heels. Maybe bring the left hand to the heart, right hand to the belly. Close the eyes. And just feel into the experience, whatever is happening right now. The next exhalation, just let the hands release. Roll to the outer right hip, stretch your legs out in front. You're going to lie down on your back, but keep your knees bent. Bring your heel of your hand to the lower side ribs. Elbows are wide, fingertips curling in towards one another. Chin just slightly tucking towards the chest. And come back to the diaphragmatic breath. And maybe working with that visualization was easier for you. Right deep in the center of your being. A ball of energy. Maybe it's a ball of light. And as you breathe in, feeling the expansion out from that center, out towards the periphery. And exhaling. We don't have time to go into, say, bridge and wheel pose, but I hope that if they are in your practice, you can get a kind of a feeling now for, you know, what it's like to recruit them for support, okay? Because even if you think of bridge pose, we're looking for quite a lot of, it's hip extension, and often, you know what, in fact, we'll do one bridge. And if you want to play with wheel, you're welcome to play with wheel. I'm just conscious of finishing this because we're already running over a little bit. Okay, there's the thing with backbending is I try to confine something that I would workshop in about 2.5 hours into pretty much an hour. So bear with me. Okay, so we'll just do one bridge here, just again to feel. Once you set the feet hip width distance apart, upper arm bones are down. Now we're going to find the posterior tilt of the pelvis, okay, entering in from the top. So you're going to just tilt the pelvis back. So feel your lower back pressing down into the mat. And now as you press your feet down, let your hip points lift up. You're going to roll as high up as you can go as feels comfortable for you. And again here, so how can I bring a little bit more into this pose? So if you think of pulling your heels slightly back towards you, you're going to feel the hamstrings. Lift the hip points up just a little higher. And think of your tail as moving up between your knees. So really focusing on that posterior tilt will hopefully help to kind of get out of the lower back activating too much. Okay, so we're distributing here now a lot more with the hips, the glutes and the hamstrings. And then as you really expand up with the chest, you can bring your hands in underneath, interlace the fingers and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Pressing down into the knuckles of your hand, pressing down into the forearms, the upper arms, grounding the feet, pulling those heels back in the direction of the shoulders, maybe the hips lift a little higher, keep that curl of your tail, and we'll do one more breath here. And then exhaling as you release, roll shoulders out, and slowly, slowly let your spine come back down. Place one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. Close the eyes. And again, just notice what's present. And bring the knees now up into your chest. Interlace your fingers. And just do a little rocking side to side, just to give the lower back a little stretch here and release. As we come to center, take a nice big breath in. And exhaling as you curl head, neck and shoulders up and away from the mat. Bringing your nose towards your knees, maybe reaching your fingers towards the top of the mat. Curling into a small little ball, we'll take a breath here. And then exhaling as we release. Bring your feet down, bring your arms down, bring your head down. Now, if you feel the urge to do a spinal twist, a happy baby, whatever feels good for you, maybe you want to do that wheel pose, you're very welcome to take a little bit of space and time. Otherwise, walk your feet out a little wider. We'll just windshield wiper the knees side to side, letting the head turn in the opposite direction of the knees. And then come back, grounding the feet and stretch the legs straight out. So you're very welcome to rest here with the legs out straight. You may even want to come into a seated position, coming into a meditation posture. So whatever will work for you, whatever feels good for you. Just give yourself a little bit of space and time to just digest that work, that practice. Allowing the body to just settle into stillness. And allowing the bones of the body, the deep bones of your body, just to really settle down. Let them lean back into the earth. Feeling that solid support underneath. And softening around the eyes, the lips, teeth, tongue. Heart soft, belly soft. do invite you to continue resting if it is feasible for you to do so, if you have a little bit more time. And if you need to get yourself going for the rest of your day, please just awaken your body slowly with a gentle effort and come to join me in a seated position. And we'll take our palms for Anjali Mudra together in front of the heart, tipping your chin slightly down. And just settle your attention into the cave of the heart. And notice what's here for you. What's your heart's intention right now? Can you listen in? And filling the heart with a soft smile. And invite that same smile to your lips. And just take a moment to be grateful to this experience of moving and breathing, to our bodies, to our hearts, and for each other, collectively practicing here virtually. And just take the same gratitude or moment of gratitude to whatever arises for you right now in this moment. Don't think too hard. With my own heart of gratitude to you. Namaste. Thanking you for your practice, whatever time of the day you're tuning in.